We've been enjoying the wines from Martin Nigl's eponymous winery for literally decades now. Nigl was one of the first stars of dry Austrian wine that managed to find his way to the shores here in the early 90s. And the first releases were amazing. You know, like a lot of Austrian producers, it took a little while for them to find their footing, find like their stylistic mojo, if you will, etc. But you know, Nigl came out of the gates, both barrels blazing, and has not looked back. If anything, the wines have gotten better. So today we're talking about the Nigl Grüner Veltliner Pellingen, Ried Pellingen, right? This is an Erste Lage vineyard, which the Austrians, like the Germans a few years back, started to incorporate a classification in their system. So this is one of the top vineyards considered in Austria, an Erste Lage vineyard, Pellingen, but it's part of the larger Nigl property, which is underneath the Senftenberg Castle. One of the most beautiful sites I've ever visited, one of the most beautiful vineyard locations I've personally ever visited in my life. Old ruined castle on top of the hill, vineyard streaming down from the castle. It is just so picturesque, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And then the vineyards end at Nigl's fabulous Weinstube, which is like one of the best places for classic Austrian Wachau, Kremstal style cuisines in the country. Man, it was one of the best winery visits I'd ever been on. The family, gorgeous, nice, unassuming, beautiful people. The winemaking style, clean, crystal clean, transparent, purity. Steve used the term crystalline in the article, and I believe that. 100% stainless steel here, reductive style winemaking. These wines hum. They're full of energy, passion, vibrancy. They're electric, and then on top of that, we have the great 2021 vintage, which is one of Austria's classic years in the last decade. You know, even with global warming, they've had a nice run of some really classic style vintages. We've had a few vintages where the wines weren't too heavy, too ponderous, and Grüner can get that way in the warmer years. It can get a little relaxed. And with Grüner, as opposed to Riesling, which almost always has it, with Grüner, we need that tension. And this wine has the tension. So you have all that wonderful, like, sweet farmer's market green pea, English green pea, herbs. You have some green apple. All of this in a framework that is just packed with minerality. And Grüner, to me, is usually not as mineral as Riesling in Austria, but in this case, you almost have that piercing Riesling-like minerality here, and all that richness that you get from classic Grüner Veltliner. So 98 points from James Suckling, actually Stuart Piggott, who's James Suckling's German wine editor. And you know what? He made the right call. I like what Stewie had to say about the wine, and he's 100% right. This is one of the most compelling wines from what is one of Austria's great vintages, 2021, from the Nigl family. 160 bottles. Get some.